Okay, so let's just begin with a little bit of work with the ball just underneath the feet. So a nice way to go is to start by the heel of the foot. If you don't have to have a spiky ball, it can be a flat ball like a tennis ball or even a golf ball. You don't have to push hard. Really is just contact, really, like light pressure and movement. You can, if there's a few spots, you can kind of press down a little bit more. And you can also get it underneath the ball of your foot and just kind of spread your toes over it. So just keep doing that a little bit. That's why the spiky ball is quite nice, because it kind of breaks up that tissue a little bit more. So just rolling it and pressing, a few points of pressing. And it doesn't have to be hard. You can just kind of, especially if it's a spiky ball, you can just kind of push down on the ball. We can do some rolling. Okay, and then the other foot, just starting a little bit around the heel. I really like the spiky one, but sometimes it's nicest to work with a flat one, and then it's more about just gentle pressing down. Get underneath the foot a little bit. Arches of the foot. If you've got a spiky ball, a bit of sort of dynamic rolling backwards and forwards, and then a few pressure points. We'll keep the ball handy, so we'll just put that aside for now. And we'll just do a little bit just standing, facing down the mat. Come up onto your toes, so staying with the feet, coming up onto toes, and then drop one heel back up onto the toes, drop the other heel. So just kind of marching or paddling the feet. And every time you lift one heel, sort of spread your toes a little bit. And keep going, alternating. And then we're going to come up onto the toes, both heels lifting, and then come down super slow. See if you can really lower yourself slowly. So you're actually using the strength of the feet and the calves. So coming right up onto the toes, very slowly coming down. And again, up onto the toes, and very slowly coming down. Good. Now stay standing. Just do a little mini bend through the knees and straighten. Just get a little bit of a feel of the knees here, a little warm up through the knees, and also noticing any sort of tightness in the knees. We'll do that one more time. Then we'll put that together. We're going to come up onto the toes. We're going to bend the knees, lower the heels, straighten the legs. Up onto the toes, bend the knees, lower the heels, straighten the legs. So do that a couple of times. Up onto the toes, bend the knees, lower the heels, straighten. One more. Up, bend, lower, down. Now come up onto the toes. You might want to bring your arms out to the front as we go all the way down. And see if you can go all the way down and place your fingertips on the floor. And then just rock. So rocking backwards and forwards. Knees towards the floor and back. And then bring the knees towards the floor and just kind of sway the knees from right to left. So you're getting that movement through the feet. And then we come back. Now stay on your toes. See if you can reach your arms out to the front and then push away from the floor and then lower your heels. Good. Okay, take the feet a little wider. Place your hands onto your hips. Bend a little bit through the knees. Now keep the knees bent and then just tuck your tailbone under and push your bottom back. So just tucking and tilting the pelvis. So you're scooping in, tuck your tailbone under, stick your bottom out. And then we're going to stay to the center. I'll just face this way. Push your hips from side to side. Now keep both knees evenly bent. So just have a little look. We're not actually straightening and bending one knee. Both knees stay bent and just move your hips from side to side. So it really is just your pelvis tilting, rocking. If you were sitting on a Swiss ball or something, it's like you're rolling the ball from side to side. So the focus here is again on that mobility of the back. And then we're going to do circles. So you're going to push to one side, tuck your tailbone under, push the other side, push your bottom back. Tuck under and circle it around. When you're ready, go the other way. Keeping the ribs kind of still, just moving around with the pelvis. Then come back to center and then just straighten out your legs. And the feet can come a little bit closer together. Bring your arms to the front. And then just keep your body really still, but shrug your shoulder blades. So we do this sometimes lying on a roller. So imagine that you're moving your shoulder blades, shrugging them to the roller and back. So keep the body nice and still, straight arms going forward and then pulling the shoulder blades back together. Shrugging forward, pulling back. Feel that movement of the shoulder blades on the back, forward and back. One more time. And then we hold them back and bring one arm up and one arm down. Stay there for a second. Keep your elbows straight. Switch it to the other side. One arm up, one arm down. Keep doing that a couple of times. Keeping the ribs in. So as the arm comes up, at this stage, not popping the ribs forward, but we're going to bring a little bit more flexibility or mobility into that. So that this time, as the right arm goes up, let the ribs lift up a little bit, and then switch and let your ribs lift up a little bit, and keep switching it. And then get a bit more dynamic. So let's let those arms swing about. A little bit more dynamic. Just throw the arms around. Feel that tissue. Keep a little bend in the elbow so they're not locked out. They're heavy, floppy arms. Keep throwing them about a little bit more. And we'll do one more. And then we're going to bring the right arm up and stay there. Okay, I'll turn this way. So lean over towards the left and stay there for a second. Just feel that pull down that right side. Come back to center, switch arms. Lean over and hold. Feel that pulling sensation. Coming back, right arm up. Sliding over. Now stretch a bit more through that top arm. Hold, planting the right foot. One more breath. Come back to center. Bring it up. Go the other way. Stretch out tall, lengthen. Hold. And come back to center. Good. Take your arms straight out to the front. Bring your right arm behind. Keep the left arm forward. Come back to the front, other side. Little bend at the elbow. And then we're going to go dynamically, one arm at a time. So just throw the arm back. Have a little bend at the elbow. So you're feeling a stretch across your chest. It's not just pulling into the arms and the bicep. Keep that little bend. Keep going. Couple more here, opening. I'll do another 4, 3, 2, 1. Both arms come down. Just stand for a second. Just feeling into it. Keep a little bend in the knees. And we're going to take your arms to the front. You take the right arm up towards the ceiling and behind. Now we're going to take the left arm up as the right arm comes down. Turn back to the front and then switch. So now your left arm is behind and your right arm is forward. The left arm goes down, right arm goes up, and we switch the other way. So it's like a little windmill with the arm. So you're circling the arms around as you turn from one side to the other. So just keep making circles with the arms as you turn from one side to the other. So rotating your spine as you circle the arm. And you can do that a little bit more dynamically. Good, one more. And then we come back to center and hold it here. Now unlock your knees, slouch your shoulders, roll down and come down to about halfway. First of all, just let your shoulders kind of pendulum, your arms as pendulum or circle around in your sockets. And then go the other way. And then we'll floss the shoulders, so sort of shake them out a little bit. Shake, 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 shake. Press through the floor, coming all the way back up. Taking your arms overhead. Push through the feet. Lift out through the sternum. Keep lifting, pushing out through the feet, and just keep extending. Now, you're not collapsing back, you're stretching the front. So keep pressing the feet into the floor, keep stretching the fingertips up and back and hold. Keep reaching, that front body stays really long, and then sweep down and then go back up. Hold it here. So stretching like the front of your body is like a rubber band, and you're stretching that whole front of the body long out through the fingertips, and then sweep it down and bounce back up. And again, so open the front body, shift your weight a little bit, hips a little bit forward, reaching long. Exhale, sweep it down one more time, breathing in. Stretch that front body and sweep it down. Breathing in, float both arms down, hold it here for a second. Close your eyes. We're going to tuck the chin, slouch the shoulders, and this time just roll all the way to the ground. And just stay hanging here for a moment. Bend your knees quite a lot. Let your head hang. So tuck the chin in. Feel the heaviness through the head. Just let your weight shift a little bit from your toes to your heels a couple of times. You shift your weight forward, straighten one leg a little bit. Bend both knees, straighten the other leg a little bit. Do that a couple of times. Sit back in towards the heels, push the floor away, tuck your tailbone, rolling all the way up. Take your arms overhead, have your palms facing forward, spread the hands out. Nice and tall. And then exhale, release. Before we head towards the floor, we're going to grab the ball for a second. And we're going to use the ball just to do a little bit more work, and that can be a spiky ball or a flat ball, and just kind of rub it between your hands, like roll it between your hands with a bit of pressure. Hold it there, keep rolling it. And then bring it up to your forearm. So roll it on your forearm. Get into your elbow a little bit here. And get onto the back of your arm. Go onto the back of the arm a little bit. right up. You can go onto, what's quite nice is like where the front of the shoulder sort of meets the front of the chest. So there's your front delt and then your pec muscle. If you can get into that a little bit, into there, across the chest, that's often quite tight. Might even be able to get up into the neck, into the trapezius, if that feels all right. And then you can just go across to the other side, so chest and shoulder first. On top of the chest and shoulder. And that trapezius and neck. And you can go down that bicep, tricep, back of the arm, front of the arm, inside of the arm, forearm. And again on the hands a little bit. All right, so we'll put that down for now. Might grab it again in a minute. And then just come down to hands and knees. Okay, so hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's go into a few cat flows here. So just moving the spine. Now, as you exhale, go round spine, suck the tummy in. As you inhale, pull back through the shoulders, send your chin forward. Do that a couple more times. But you could also start to do a bit more like little side bends. So as you tuck, you're kind of pushing to the sides. And from here, have your toes together and knees apart. Sit your bottom back. Just do a big reach down the mat for a moment, stretching your fingertips all the way as far forward as you can. But as you stretch your fingertips forward, get your bottom as far back as you can. So your bottom pulls towards your heels and fingertips reach forward. Take a couple of slow, steady breaths here. Take a walk to the right side of the mat. Place your left hand on top. Drop into your left shoulder. Drop into your right shoulder. And just a couple more like that. Slide it about. Take it to the other side, same thing, slide it about. So you want to imagine your skeleton, and then you imagine you're wearing a skin suit. So you're sliding that skeleton underneath the skin suit so that it's not sticking. You imagine just as you pull, just sliding, loosening off some of the layers, gliding those layers around. Now make your way back to the center. Reach your arms out to the front. Come up to hands and knees again. Taking an inhale, looking forward, tuck your toes, spread out through the hands, plug the shoulders in, and push up to the mountain. So come back to focus on your feet for a second. Let's be really deliberate in that marching, spreading the toes, Pressing the heels, feel the stretch. Keep suctioning the hands into the floor. Couple more breaths like this. And then come back to the knees. Good. Let's take the right leg forward. Let's move into that hip for a second. Opening up through the hip flexors. Keep the left hand on the ground. Raise your right arm up. Now sink a little bit more. That top arm, let it feel quite heavy. And then let that arm fall back so you're kind of looking to the ceiling. And then bring that top arm and reach it underneath like threading the needle. So you reach it through. And then we go back up. Inhale. If you want to, that right knee can kind of fall open the chest. And then as you exhale, reach underneath like threading the needle. So inhale, opening the chest, push out of the bottom arm. And then exhale, reach through. 2 more. Last one. All right, let's place the hands on the ground. Come back onto the knees. Plug the shoulders in, tuck the toes, and push back to the mountain. Just stay there for a second. Lifting the sit bones. You don't have to march the feet. Just stay there. And then come back to the knees and step the other leg forward. Start on the fingertips. Just sinking into the hip. Hold it here. Now raising your left arm up and rotate. Let that arm feel heavy. So push out of the bottom arm as that top arm falls back. And then bring that arm underneath, so threading the needle. And again, inhale, open it. Let it fall back, push out of the bottom arm. And then exhale, threading the needle. And again, opening up. And you can let that knee fall open if that feels good. And exhale through. Inhale, open, push out of the bottom arm. Let it fall back, open the chest. Exhale. And then bring the hands down, step back to the knees. Plug the shoulders in. Now as you press back here, try getting your head through the arms so your head actually goes closer to your knees. So dropping through the shoulders a little bit more. One more breath. Come back to the knees. Lie down onto your stomach. Sit up on your forearms. And just take a few moments softening the belly here. Softening through the back. Then bend your knees and keep your knees about as wide as the mat or as wide as your hips, so not too close. And then just go floppy side to side with the knees. Just let them rock, drop slowly, not too fast, just very gently. And that gentle movement, what you want to feel is it rocks your pelvis a little bit. You feel that movement at the lower back and the sacroiliac joints moving around a bit. You're massaging, you're rolling across your quads, a little bit of tugging at the hip flexors. Soften the belly, let your shoulders relax. Come back to center, let the feet come down. Just stay here for a few more moments, just softening. So let yourself relax. So try not to hold on, because sometimes we can be a bit gripping still. Just soften your belly. Another few breaths like that. And take your hands wider than your elbows, and then lift your elbows off the ground. So hands on the ground. And just stay in that seal position. A bit more stretch in the back. Come down all the way. Now keep your feet as they are, but bring your hands down further. So your hands are more by your shoulders now, elbows tucked in. And then we go up again, but this time roll and look over your right shoulder. Hold it here. Roll and look over your left shoulder. And again, look over your right shoulder. And look over the left shoulder. Come back to center, come all the way down. Just slowly go back to child's pose. Maybe stack your hands underneath your forehead. You can stack fists or just hands and just relax for a sec. Let me come back to hands and knees. Now grab your ball. So this next one actually works better with a flat ball, but if you've got a spiky ball, it'll have to do. So what we're going to do is you're going to lie down onto your stomach and you're going to place the ball right in that hip crease. Okay, so we're going to try and get into a bit of a hip flexor release. So right into that hip crease. So you're lying on it. So if you've got a tennis ball, that might even work better, or something along those lines. And you're just kind of rolling across the hip flexor, so across that, and sort of come down a little bit so you're kind of just where the quads start. And you can do a little bit of side to side, or you can just hold the pressure point. And then you can go into, so if you're kind of rolling across your pelvis, that hip bone, you can take that knee out to the side, take that knee out to the side a little bit, and then come just on the inside of the hip bone, so the inside of the pelvis, and you should feel pressure points. So here's your hip, and here's the hip bone. And if you take your leg out to the side, you kind of let the ball sit just on the inside of that hip. So if you've got the ball, you've got your hip bone, your knee goes out, and then the ball goes just on the inside if you can. And you kind of just let your weight go onto it slowly. So let the ball roll a little bit towards the inside of the hip bone of that pelvis. And then once you find that spot, just let yourself relax into it. And hold it there. So you don't need to roll it around. You just kind of find that spot and then let it sink. A couple more breaths. You might actually really feel that release. You do a little slightly, like play around with the angle. It might be a little bit higher, a little bit more out, a little bit more in. You'll feel it once you've got that spot. Just take another 3 breaths. And then we take that away slowly and then go to the other side. So first of all, you can bring it right into the hip crease. So the hip flexor crosses the hip joint, the hip crease, and then it kind of connects into the quads. So you can get into that part first. Okay, sort of try and get into where it goes from that crossover, and you can kind of roll over it a little bit. Top of the quads. And then you can bring the knee out and let it come just on that inside again, on the inside of the pelvis. So, you know, when you put your fingers on the hip bones, just on that crease and then on the inside. And then find that point there and then just slowly and hold it there. Let it sink a little bit. You'll soon feel if it's the right spot. You don't have to push on it, you just sink onto it. You don't have to put extra weight on it. Another couple of breaths. Slowly release, move the ball to the side. Take your time coming up to hands and knees. And then we're going to slowly go back to child's pose. And just take a few moments, see what that feels like. And slowly come back up. Come back to hands and knees, back to the mountain for a moment. Let yourself collapse through a bit, through the shoulders and through the back. So chest goes a little bit more towards the thighs. Then come down to the knees. We're going to bring the legs through to the front. Lie on your back. Keep the ball handy. And hug the knees to the chest. So we'll do a little bit of rocking, just flatten across the back, maybe circling. And then just place your feet on the ground. Reach your arms all the way behind. Tilt the pelvis, scoop the belly, lift the hips, come right up. And then come down slowly, just one vertebra at a time. Suck the tummy in. All the way. We'll do it again. Tilt the pelvis, lift the hips. Now lift your left hip a little higher and then roll down the right side of your spine. And then we go back up, lift the right hip higher, roll down the left side of your spine. And we do that again, lifting up, right side down. left side down. And then we can kind of zigzag down or twist down, whatever feels good. And then stay down. Hug the knees into the chest again. And then place the feet on the ground. So we're going to grab the ball, lift your bottom up, and then think about your pelvis and your spine. You're going to come to the right side of your spine, and you're going to place the ball right into the corner, like between the spine and the pelvis. Okay, so right into that edge. And then you're going to let your weight kind of sink down. And then lift your hips, move the ball a fraction upwards your spine, but still right alongside the spine. So we're on the right side or on one side. Lift up a little bit and sink down a little bit. And lift up, and every time we lift up, you move the ball just a millimeter higher towards your ribs. You come back up and you move it a little bit higher. I'm quite close to my ribs now. Go back up. So here we also start to get into where the hip flexors attach. And just do that once more, close to the ribs, right close to the spine. So now I'm sitting right by my bottom rib and my spine. So just right in the edge there in the corner. I'm going to hold that for a little bit. And you want to try and soften and breathe. So you want the muscle to soften. And then come up and move the ball to the other side of your spine. Start at the bottom again. So it's right by the pelvis and the spine. Just sink a little bit here. You can just slightly move it around. So just finding a different spot. And then keep it close to your spine, but go a millimeter higher. Sink down into it. Lift again a millimeter higher. Just kind of moving your way towards your ribs, but you're still on the side of your spine. Keep moving it up every time with every breath. Lift up and then sink into it and breathe out. So again, getting close to my spine now. I'm pretty much by my ribs now. So I'm just going to stay here for a little bit, close to the ribs and the spine, and just hold. Now lift up and then place the ball right in the middle of your sacrum, so on the back of the pelvis, and then just roll across your sacrum. So it's kind of lower back pelvis. Roll around. You can move it down a little bit. Just on that sacrum, just in the middle of the pelvis to start with. That's on the bone. Just kind of move it around. This is when the spiky ball is good. Then you come down. Now we're going to place the right foot on top of your left knee. So right foot on top of your left knee. Take the ball down to your right glute, like on the outside of your sacrum, and you're kind of getting between your sacrum and your hip joint. And you let that knee fall open, and then you lean, like you're lifting your left hip a little higher, and you're sinking the ball into that right side. And then again, you can do a little lift and move it to a slightly different area. Sink in again. Just move around. Find a few different spots here. Now place that foot on the ground, and then take it to the other side. Lift your left foot on top. Take the ball to the outside of your sacrum and to between your sacrum and your hip joint, and then let it sink. Sitting on. And then kind of move it. You'll feel different spots. So you move it up a little bit. Keep moving it to a slightly different spot. You'll find the odd spot that really gets in, and you can kind of hang out there for a little bit longer. And every time you move it, you're only moving it like a millimeter or an inch, just slightly to a different spot. Okay, place that foot down, move the ball away, take your feet to as wide as the mat, and we'll just do a little bit of window wiper here. Probably feels quite tenderized. And then we come back into center, bring the knees to the chest, maybe a little bit of rocking. Now hold on to the knees, rock yourself to sitting, and then we'll make our way back to a standing position. All right, so arms down, soften the knees, tuck the chin, Scoop the belly, come all the way down. Stay hanging here for a little bit. And then rolling back up, pressing the floor away. Take your arms overhead. Stretch out nice and tall. Let the arms come down. Stay standing. Soften the knees. Open the chest. Very good.